Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Today, we have a job to do. Now what is this job? Well, today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different for the channel. We are going to be doing a tier list! A tier list of all the mainline Pokemon games. But first, before we get to that, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, go down below, hit that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds out of your day and it would help me a lot. Alright, thank you. Now we can continue on with the tier list. Let's go. Alrighty, so the way we're going to be doing this tier list is we're going to be going through generation by generation. So we're going to be doing all of the Gen 1 games, so like Red and Blue, then going like Fire Red, Leaf Green, blah blah blah, and then moving on to all the Gen 2 Johto stuff, alright? So it's going to be the originals, remakes, and then moving on to the next generation, just to avoid any confusion there. So alright, now if there's an opinion that you really agree with, hit that like button. If there's an opinion here that I have that offends you, like down to your core offends you, then hit that dislike button. I don't give a shit. You do whatever you want. So if I say anything that you really don't like, hit dislike. I don't give a shit. Alright, now getting on with it. Alrighty, so we're going to start with Red and Blue. Alrighty. Now I'm going to be frank with you all. I haven't played the original Gen 1 games. I played them on like friends' Game Boys when I went over to their house, but my parents never got me an original Game Boy. Now, I'm no zoomer. I'm like 25, right? But they didn't let me have a handheld system until like the GBA SP. Alright, so I started kinda late in the Pokemon game. Now, never mind me, just we're just going to, where is it? There we go. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to Fire Red and Leaf Green. These are the games that I started with. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Fire Red. Now, pretty much the way the grading system is going to work, S is like absolute top tier stuff, alright? A is a really good game. B is pretty decent. C means that like if I had to replay a Pokemon game, it probably wouldn't be that fun, alright? Pretty simple stuff. Alright, so Fire Red and Leaf Green, look, they're good. I've seen gameplay obviously of Red and Blue, and Fire Red and Leaf Green just look like a much better version of them. I like the visuals more, the sprites are really good. The Sevi Island stuff as like extra like post-game stuff is really top quality. I actually really like the Sevi Islands. The only negative thing that I really think there is with Fire Red and Leaf Green is how slow the game is. Loading battles takes a long time. By the way, I'm going to be like putting like all of the partner games all in the same tier. So like Fire Red and Leaf Green are going to have the same tier. Like Red and Blue have the same tier. You know, very simple stuff. Alright, so I'm going to be chucking Fire Red and Leaf Green in B. Alright, now the next Gen 1 games are Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. These, I'm a little bit torn on. They're kinda charming, but overall, I don't think I like playing them as much as playing anything else here, really. For some reason, these are like the first Pokemon games that I ever really played and got super bored with when I was playing them. Like, there was several times when I would put down Let's Go Pikachu, which is the only one that I played. I would put that down for like a week at a time because it was so goddamn boring. So, because of that, it's gonna go in the lowest tier I have for the games that I've actually played. Because I don't think any of these games are below a C. Honestly, I don't think there's any D-ranked games in here, at least not the ones that I've played through. So, they belong in C. And honestly, looking at it, they're not going to be the only C-ranked games, but... Anyway, moving on. That takes care of all the Gen 1 stuff. Let's move on to the Gen 2 games. Now, I'm going to have to disappoint a lot of people again. I'm going to get a hell of a lot of dislikes on this video. And where is Silver? Where's Silver? Alright, you got him. Alright, move that there. That there. Very good. Very good. These, I haven't played any of these. Like, anything that's in Boomer Game Lore, haven't played. So there you go. Alright, now, moving on to the other Gen 2 games, we have Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And these are, like, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind. These are, if I was going to make a tier that was just the best Pokemon game, that would be these games. Because I think they're the best Pokemon games, by far. Like, there are some competitors, but you can't beat Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You're messing with me if you think, like, no cap, they are the best. Alright. Moving on to the Gen 3 stuff, we have Ruby and Sapphire. And I think Ruby and Sapphire are also going to go in C tier, but they're going to go above Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, to be honest, because I think they are better games. But we also have Pokemon Emerald here. Pokemon Emerald is a better game than Ruby and Sapphire, I will give it that. And I think Emerald I'm going to put in A. I'm pretty comfortable with Emerald being in A tier. The Battle Frontier is absolutely top quality stuff. And moving on to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I'm just going to be honest. Haven't played Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire. Don't really think I plan to be honest. Not the biggest fan of Mega Evolution. Wasn't hot on it, so I just skipped those entries entirely. So we're moving on to the Gen 4... Oh, actually, no, we missed one. Alright, so still going along with the Gen 1 games, we're going to put Yellow also there. Now, that's one that I actually plan on playing. Alright, moving on to Gen 4 games, we have Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. So, where... This has me a little bit torn. I also think that Diamond and Pearl belong in C tier, but I think they're even above Ruby and Sapphire. Because I don't mind Diamond and Pearl. I'm gonna put them above Ruby and Sapphire, but I don't think they're B tier games. Alright, Diamond, Pearl there, and now we get to Platinum, which Platinum is also an A tier game. I think it's better than Emerald. I'm gonna put Emerald below it. I think Platinum's really, really good. It just has better variety in what you can catch to actually set up a team for endgame, whereas Diamond and Pearl really don't. There's not a lot of options there at all. So I'm not the biggest fans of Diamond and Pearl. Alright. Yeah, pretty keen for those Gen 4 remakes though. Even though it's like a chibi sort of art style, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Okay, so moving on to Gen 5 games, we have Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. Now, these as the base games, I'm going to put them in A tier. I'm going to put them between Platinum and Emerald. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion or not. Like, I think Gen 5 is still to this day kind of underrated. The Pokedex is really cool, and all the areas are neat. There's a lot of gameplay mechanics, like the seasons changing, and that changing like Swordsbuck's look or whatever it was. They're cool mechanics. You know, you think of the Gen 4 Pokedex, and it's kind of resident sleeper. There's a lot of Pokemon in, like, obviously you got like Staraptor and Luxray, that is absolutely awesome. But all in all, like the Gen 5 Pokedex is the best since Gen 1, I think. So, yeah, they're going in A tier, just below Platinum. Now, however, Black 2 and White 2 are a slightly different story. They are going in S tier. I think if there's any Pokemon games that can compete with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it's Black 2 and White 2. And they're the only ones that can. those games are just so goddamn good. Honestly. Alright. Moving on to Gen 6 now. And we got Pokemon X and Y being the only Gen 6 games. This one I'm also kind of torn on, because I think the Gen 6 Pokedex is, like, it was very controversial back when it came out. I think it's kind of fire, honestly. There are a lot of cool Pokemon in there. Aegislash, with the starters, kind of shit, I think. But yeah, Aegislash is cool. There's a bunch of other, like, Pokemon, like, I think Trevenant was in this generation. That I think's pretty cool. It wasn't too bad. The only thing that sucked about it was the switch to 3D, having like really bad models, and the performance was absolute dog shit, like wow. Plus, Gen 6 ruined shiny hunting by making it way too damn easy. That took all of the fun out of it. So, it's an okay game. Mega Evolution did put me off the series for a while, but I actually wouldn't mind replaying these games, honestly. I'm gonna chuck them in bottom B tier. So I think they're not bad games, but they're not my pick of the litter. Alright. Now we're moving on to Gen 7, and bear with me just a moment. That's just how it is. Skip the whole generation. Fuck that shit, man. Alright, moving on to Gen 8. These games are pretty cool, actually. The visuals aren't as bad as a lot of people went on about when they came out. The Pokedex is a bit hit or miss. They've added in DLC to add in a bunch of Pokemon that weren't included. They're still not the full dex, but I mean, it's getting there. And I don't think they're bad games, like, competitive-wise. But if I was to play through the story mode again, it'd be very boring. The PvE side of it is so goddamn boring. Like, all the routes are just a straight line to the finish. The gyms are like the only good part of it, honestly. It's just not a fun game to play PvE. The PvP side of it is so much better. And so for that, it's going bottom B, because I don't think they're bad games. I think they're a more pleasant experience than playing base Diamond Pearl or base Ruby Sapphire or the Let's Go games. But they're just not with the rest of it. You know what I mean? Alright. Well, tier list done, but we got 2 more games down the bottom. Now what are those doing there? Who's ever heard of Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon Meme Face over here? Alright, these are the GameCube games. I'm gonna be real. These are the GameCube games. And look, they're not mainline games. So what are they doing on this tier list? Well, they're fucking better than the mainline games, I tell you that. Double battles are the way. Like if they made a mainline game that had majority double battles, I'm sold. I'm in, you've got me. But there's not. Double battles are so goddamn good. Colosseum, start off with Umbreon and Espeon. This game's a ride. You got both games, you got the Shadow Pokemon, you got to capture other trainers' Pokemon. The only time in the series, I think, where you do that. These games are fire. They're seriously underrated. I would play them for the channel, honestly. I'm gonna put Colosseum. I'm gonna put Colosseum just below Black and White. And I'm going to put XD at the bottom of S. It's been probably like 10, 12 years since I last played Colosseum and XD, so I am riding purely off of nostalgia here. There's nothing else going into this but nostalgia. But from what I remember, that's where these games belong. Because these games are some good shit. And plus, like, from these games, you can then get the Gen 2 starters into the GBA games, which is how I then got all those across. So, yeah, cool shit. You know, getting a legitimate Lugia and trading it over to the mainline games. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Alrighty. So that is the Pokemon tier list there. It is official. I'm sorry, but my opinions are like 100% set. This is just the official rankings of the games. So if you disagree, gonna have to thumbs down. If you agree with a couple of these, give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Catch ya.